Thank you, Avery, for that glowing introduction. I loved it. Can you hear me now? Only once?
Yep.
I got my annual performance evaluation recently. Naturally, it was glowing. But my boss had one little suggestion for me. He says, sometimes I can be a little dismissive when people make suggestions, and that maybe I should be a little bit more open. So naturally, I went home and talked to Brian and asked him to take my side. But instead, Brian said, well, he's got you pegged. Avery, you also gave me another glowing introduction when you said, don't listen to other people, do it your own way. So here I am. This is my second speech on mentoring and my second time where I have nothing to talk about because I don't like to listen to other people. If you recall from my other time I gave a mentoring speech, my introduction told you about the time I was sitting around with Chef Reyes and dining room manager Manuel, and I was talking about my sons and how we never encouraged them to join the military because, well, my experience with Woolsey Men is that they just don't take direction. They don't like to follow orders. And Chef Reyes and Manny said, well, it's not just Woolsey Men. Don't you say anything. So I could use the sensible part and talk about people that have had a positive influence on me, but the sensitive part of me, my feelings get hurt and I get defensive. So rather than talk about the people that I've chosen not to listen to in the past, I'm going to talk about my favorite mentor, my Fitbit. I love my Fitbit. For Christmas in 2014, Brian gave me a clip-on Fitbit for Christmas. And my first reaction is, another pedometer? I don't need this. But I quickly fell in love with my Fitbit. I have worn a Fitbit of some type since Christmas of 2014. Do the math, that's over 8.5 years. And I really value my Fitbit. I'm going to tell you why I think Fitbit is a great mentor. First of all, Fitbit is unobtrusive. I prefer the clip-on. I have tried, and I have another one at home too, the wrist ones, but I'd much rather look at my wrist and see pretty bracelets. So I don't want to wear a wristband type. I even tried an Apple Watch, but they're too big and they were just clunky on my wrist. So I love this. I usually wear it someplace discreet where you can't see it. I'm not going to tell you where, but I like it because it's not there. It's not barking at me. It's just there. It's just friendly. I can look at it. I can see how many steps I've done. And I like that type of a mentor. Another thing I like about the Fitbit is it does help me set goals. Fitbit says try to get 10,000 steps a day, which I subscribe to. I do try to get 10,000 steps a day. Recent research has shown that probably as you get older, that 10,000 number was just something somebody made up, but research does show that women of a certain age really only need to get 6,000 to 8,000 steps a day for the same benefits as 10,000. So now I kind of set my own goals, and if I get 7,500 steps, I give myself a pat in the back and I feel fine, but Fitbit helps me set goals. Fitbit rewards me. If I've had a tough day of work and I've done nothing but run around all day, I can look at my Fitbit and say, you've done 10,000 steps, and I feel good. So it's rewarding. It motivates me. If you do your 10,000 steps, the little bar here, you get a star on it. On my Fitbit app, on my laptop, the blue bar turns green. So it's very motivating. If I come home from a long day and I'm only at 7,300 steps, I know that a walk around my block is around 3,700 steps, and I'm more motivated. I'm more willing to go that extra mile and say, yes, Brian, I will walk with you tonight. Fitbit meets me where I am. I like walking. I don't like running. I don't like swimming. You don't get any steps with singing, but you walk around all day long. I wear this to bed. I wear it when I first get up in the morning. All day long, I know how many steps I'm taking. It meets me where I am. Fitbit lets me cheat because I can also add steps on the app. And sometimes I will tell you, this is not totally accurate. I have been at 9,800 steps. And so I need 200 more. So I will walk around the bedroom and I will count my steps. As I'm walking, I'm counting my steps. And it always takes Fitbit a while to catch up with me. So I know that it's not totally accurate. So if I think that I really did 10,000 steps, I'll just add it in. You know, I'm cheating, but I think it's not totally reliable and it doesn't care. It doesn't yell at me. And my Fitbit is friendly. Sometimes, well, not today, I don't know, but sometimes I will look at it and it will say, I like you. I must have programmed that in at some point, but it just makes me feel good. So that's why Fitbit is my friend. However, I'm kind of thinking about breaking up with Fitbit. Yeah, Google bought them out in 2021 and it hasn't been the same. It doesn't sync anymore. I have to manually add everything in. It doesn't sync on my phone. It doesn't sync on my laptop. So what I do is every night I take a photo of how many steps it says, and the next day I round up to the nearest hundredths, even if it's 9,001 steps, that's really 9,100 steps. So again, let's be cheap. I round it up, but I'm thinking about breaking up. However, I'm kind of used to it by now. So I probably will continue the relationship. It is motivating. I am getting my 6,000 to 8,000 steps a day, sometimes 10,000 steps. So I will keep going. Now, is Fitbit a good mentor? It's not a human. So probably I should listen to my boss, and the sensible part of me will start being more receptive. Jerry Marino, who is my evaluator today. So whatever constructive criticism you have for me, I will be open and I will be appreciative and I will apply it. And the sensitive part of me will get my feelings hurt, and who cares? I'll get over it, because as my Fitbit will tell me later on, I like you. Back to you.